Good evening, everybody. Mr. Doyle and members of the Board of Education, Mr. Spirito, honored guests, administrators, faculty and staff members, parents, relatives, and friends of the class of 2020. It is truly an honor to greet you this evening and welcome you to the 86th annual commencement of Hawthorne High School. Tonight is a very special night that we will celebrate the accomplishments of this senior class. At this time, I ask that you please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance, which will be followed by our national anthem. I will now call upon Ms. Callie McCarthy, who will lead us as we begin the commencement ceremony of the class of 2020. Following the Pledge of Allegiance, please remain standing for the playing of our national anthem.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice.
I just want to thank everybody for acknowledging our social distancing guidelines. I thank everybody for following them. We really do appreciate it. And again, just a reminder to please keep your masks on throughout the ceremony. We greatly appreciate it. Thank you. At this time, our initial honorary address shall be delivered by our National Honor Society Vice President. It is with pleasure that I introduce Ms. Patricia Jacobson.
Good evening, Ms. And distinguished platform guests, faculty, family, young, grateful for the opportunity to national. I would like to start off by saying congratulations. Made it. Bittersweet moment we've all moment new heading to milk. This is the moment we make. As for this class, you know our class and stamina than any before. Path forward is should be feeling nervous, unsure, and uneasy. These are all normal feelings, but you should rest assured that these past 4 months have shaped you in ways that may seem unnoticeable, yet will prove pivotal. We are the pandemic class who has the whole world striving to graduate with us. I don't think I've ever seen so many Facebook moms concerned about the plans that were being made. This entire situation has led us to mature quickly but impressively. We will bring adaptability that's never been seen before into the world. We will bring advanced problem solving into the future and even the ability to sufficiently work independently. We will be able to respond to obstacles optimistically and thoughtfully after relying on mostly ourselves throughout this unforeseen circumstance. We had to grow up quickly and realize life isn't always a smooth road. This will ultimately help us see the good in everything and make our transition from Hawthorne High to the real world easier. With many new doors opening, I have no doubt in my mind that this class will not only succeed as we walk through whatever door chosen, but also go on to open countless doors ahead. Graduating in light of this pandemic allows us to keep our minds open and flexible to change. We will be ready for whatever comes our way, regardless of the circumstances. Michael Jordan once said, "Obstacles don't have to stop you. If you run into a wall, don't turn around and give up. Figure out how to climb it, go through it, or work around it." For our 12 weeks of remote learning, we have been introduced to just a fraction of obstacles that we will face throughout the remainder of our lives. This obstacle, however, was one that came on fast and strong. Our response perfectly embodies the nature of Jordan's. We didn't give up, we didn't turn around, we instead found a way to. That is what is going to set us apart from others in the future. We are strong, we are resilient, we are the class of 2020. I would like to conclude by giving a great thanks to all of those who have supported each of us along the way. We could have not done it without you. Thank you. Continue to be our best. Thank you to the administration who always kept our best interests in mind. Thank you to the parents and guardians who always cheered on us throughout our school years. I would personally like to thank my father for being the greatest support, my stepmom Michelle, and brothers Kyle and Michael for always egging me on to do my best. I would like to recognize my mother up above for always watching over me and being my biggest motivator to achieve success. I encourage you all to let those people who have impacted your lives so greatly know you are so grateful for their support and guidance. If you take anything away from this speech, please take with you the notion that you can face anything. Always keep in mind that the best is yet to come.
Thank you, Patty. It is with great pride that I would like to announce two very special awards. First, the salutatorian for the class of 2020, Mr. Joshua Kabuski.
Good evening, Mr. Doyle, Mr. Spirito, Mr. Cunningham, Mr. Jandoli, Mr. Mazzacca, distinguished platform guests, faculty, family, friends, and fellow graduates of the Hawthorne High School class of 2020. It is truly an honor to be able to stand here today as a member of the class of 2020 and your salutatorian. Over the last few months, we have all faced hardships and trials that no one could have imagined. During the midst of an epidemic, hundreds of thousands have died, and all of us have suffered. We have been isolated from one another, quarantined in our homes. Many of us have faced financial hardship as the rate of unemployment surged to levels that have never been seen before in this country. There are riots around the country questioning our system and our unity as a country. Despite these challenges that our horrid situation presents us with, there is a silver lining, a blessing in disguise, a gift unasked for: time. Despite these difficulties, we all now have had the time to grow and reflect on our lives our passions, and our relationships. With this time, we've gotten to know our families and reconnect with loved ones. With this time, we have been able to learn new skills and discover more about our own unique passions and talents. With this time, we have been able to reconnect with friends, although virtually, and test the true strength of our relationships. We've begun to rediscover ourselves and reevaluate what truly matters to us. This crisis has caused the world to hit the reset button, and in only a few months, climate change has shifted as pollution dropped. Our culture as a country has shifted as we became increasingly virtual and challenge our system. And we have all grown in some way as individuals as we continue to fight through this all together. Despite all this, we have persevered. As a class, we have always been known as the entitled generation. Everything has always been given to us without any work or struggle, many claimed. We simply showed up and got a participation award. But now, we have faced a challenge, a struggle greater than any other generation has been asked to handle. During the midst of a global epidemic, we were asked to stand strong and fight through this international crisis. And we did it. We worked through it together. And for some of us, this challenge brought our lives back into perspective. Many have reconsidered our post-graduation plans and our futures as our priorities and values have been brought into question. But it is these trying times that have helped to shape our generation, our class, and our future. This pandemic has shown the strength of our class and proved that we are not entitled and can handle anything the world may throw at us. This pandemic has brought many horrible circumstances, and none of us have been spared. But we have all stood strong, united in solidarity as a class and as a community. And together, we have been given the greatest gift of all, more time. More time to discover ourselves, kindle our relationships, and grow as a generation. We all thank our parents and families who have been with us through this all and through every moment of our difficult journey. And I personally would like to thank my parents who are in the audience today. We all thank the many teachers who have taught us and guided us as times got tough. I personally would like to thank Mrs. Pasquale, Mrs. Phibbs, Mrs. Tulo, and Mr. McMahon for their hard work and commitment to my future. And to my classmates and the entire graduating class of 2020, I urge you to cherish this blessing in disguise and cherish this time while we have it. Godspeed and congratulations.
And now, the valedictorian for the class of 2020, Mr. Alexander Nadarashvili.
Good evening, Mr. Doyle, Mr. Spirito, Mr. Cunningham, Mr. Jandoli, Mr. Mazzacca, distinguished platform guests, faculty, family, friends, and fellow graduates of the Hawthorne High School class of 2020. I know everyone says that at graduation, but after everything we've been through, it really is a good evening. As a class, we've lived through threats of war, a global pandemic, and an ongoing revolution, and that's only been the past 3 months. But we're finally here, one last monumental evening, to say goodbye and enter a new phase of our lives. When I sat down to write the speech, it was hard not to dwell on everything we've lost this year. Certain senior events, for sure, but more importantly, our precious last few months together. But then I realized I didn't want my speech to be a funeral for everything we've lost. I wanted it to be a remembrance for everything we had, a celebration of the past 12 years of meeting new people, making friends, growing up, falling in love, and becoming adults, kind of. So, why don't we take a trip down memory lane? I remember when I first came to America. Shout out to Miss Clifford, I had to slip that line in here somewhere. I ended up in Miss Spinelli's 3rd grade class at Washington Elementary School. I'm sure you all remember elementary school, but let me just give you a quick rundown of my experience. 3rd grade, when the most important thing in the world was getting permission to write with a pen. 4th grade, the year they tried to trick us into liking math by giving us those impossible math minute challenges. And 5th grade, the first year we got a taste of what it felt like to grow up. The year those of us at Washington mourned and celebrated the life of the dearly departed Miss Komar. The year we graduated from Roar, that much more aware of the world around us. We were growing up, at least as much as elementary schoolers can. And for the first time, we were on top of the food chain, the leaders of our schools. No stop signs in sight. Until we got to middle school. Now, I think we can all agree that middle school was a rough time, and not just because the idea of independence took some adjusting to. No, just thinking about middle school makes me feel this overwhelming sense of doom. 6th grade was the year we got yelled at to grow up because we weren't elementary school anymore. But most of us were either playing Minecraft or singing Pitch Perfect songs in class. And then there was the infamous 7th grade. I'll never forget the smell of that hallway. And then 8th grade came, and our lunch period got split into 2. But we got over it. We overcame those challenges and made the best of our 3 years. We competed at Superstars, danced at Macaluso's, and had our first real graduation, and started to truly come into our own. We were on top of the world once again, driving full speed ahead, and then we crashed into freshman year. High school had hallways that seemed to change every day, teachers who knew us as our siblings, brothers and sisters, and pep rallies that we were booed at. On top of all that, we had to share a locker hallway with Mr. McMahon. Just imagine how traumatizing that was. Sophomore year was a year it kind of started getting better. We upgraded to the bigger lockers. Okay, I'm gonna take this out. Got a hallway on the 2nd floor and started to have power over our classes. I remember thinking this when it struck. Maybe it's not so bad. Obviously, I was wrong because then junior year came and suddenly we were flying downhill once again. This was a year of cramming for the SATs, countless failed driver's tests, worrying about keeping our GPAs up, and an unhealthy amount of crying over Miss Pasquale's pre-cal class. And now, here we are as seniors. It's hard to believe that the year is already over, that the daily Wendy's trips during lunch, the stress over grades, the holiday dance, the volleyball tournament, and so many more events have gone by. Here we are again, back on top, but for once, I don't think a lot of us want to feel unstoppable. I think if given the choice, we would all go into reverse and go back to when nap time was still a thing. But we're not going to do that. Instead, we're going to take everything we've learned for the past 12 years and take the world by storm. We're going to use our competitive spirits, our compassion, fiery independence, our true understanding of life and loss, our tough shells, and all those unforgettable memories that shaped us into who we are, to become athletes, artists, musicians, academics, workers, and everything in between. And none of this could have been made possible if we hadn't spent the last few years in this town, walking these streets, getting a bagel at Andy's, swimming at the pool, catching a movie at the theater, and so much more, all done together, side by side. So, dear Hawthorne, I want to thank you for that, for giving us teachers who, despite us being pains in their butts, want to see us succeed unconditionally, for giving us a community where you may not know someone's name, but you know that in times of trouble, they'll always have your back, for giving us 193 new family members, brothers and sisters who, no matter how far we go, whether we keep in touch or lose contact, made an immeasurable impact on one another. Thank you for letting me spend the last few years alongside the class of 2020 in the town we will always be able to call home.
Thank you, Alex, and congratulations once again to Josh and Alex, salutatorian and valedictorian for the class of 2020. It has become tradition for certain community organizations to present awards for outstanding achievements to members of the graduating class of Hawthorne High School. Each year, the American Legion Post number 199 presents awards to the young woman and the young man who have exhibited exceptional qualities of good citizenship. It is my honor to introduce Mr. John Bertolo to present these prestigious awards on behalf of Commander Tennis of the American Legion.
Thank you. Good evening to our Board of Education members, Mr. Spirito, Mr. Mazzacca, the Hawthorne High School faculty and staff that are here, distinguished guests, family, friends, and of course the Hawthorne High School graduating class of 2020. Your legacy here at Hawthorne High School will not only be your academic, social, and athletic achievements, but the fact that you endured and survived these difficult times. It's a testament to your character, and you will always be remembered as one of the greatest classes to walk the halls of Hawthorne High School. As a proud alumni of the Hawthorne High School class of 76, I look much younger than 76. It's my honor to represent Commander Doug Tennis and the American Legion Post 199 this evening in presenting the 2020 American Legion School Award. The American Legion is an organization dedicated to the service of God and this great country. We believe that one of the best ways to perform this service is to take an active interest in the preparation of our youth so that they will become patriotic, freedom-preserving citizens. The American Legion School Award is the highest honor awarded to youth by the American Legion. It is awarded to an individual who has displayed qualities of courage, honor, leadership, patriotism, scholarship, and service throughout their high school days. It is the desire of the American Legion that wherever you go, whatever you do, you will always be guided by the highest of ideals. On behalf of Commander Tennis and all the members of Post 199, I would like to congratulate our 2020 American Legion School Award recipients, Kylie Ricka. You can clap, go ahead. And Ezekiel Soma. Thank you and congratulations to the class of 2020. And remember, once a bear, always a bear.
Thank you, Mr. Bertolo. For many years, the Hawthorne Rotary Club has presented Gold H pins to those members of the graduating class who have attained high honors. A student must have a cumulative unweighted GPA of 88 or above in grades 9, 10, 11, and the first semester of grade 12. As I call the names of the seniors who have achieved this exceptional status, I ask that they please stand and be recognized. Kindly hold your applause until I have read all the names. Lubana Aliubi, Joseph Aliano, Drina Alvarez, Marlena Alvino, Maria del Carmen Angelis Molinelli, Gabriella Barbarisi, Sydney Bavaro, George Began, Daniel Berry, Anthony Bertolo, Melanie Bilbao, Michael Brown, Kayla Cabascongo, Nia Canales, Jacqueline Caraballo, Andrew Caradonna, Caitlin Carone, Josue Carrasco, Samantha Queso, Alejandra Castillo, Andrew Ciali, Corina Claros, Alexandra Clavijo, Bianca Corbo, Danielle Diascoli, Adam Dietrich, Mackenzie DePrima, Jason Dion, Emily Estes, Thomas Finch, Aaron Fletcher, Elizabeth Gallo, Jennifer Galvan Arenas, Nicole Giovanniello, Rana Gune, Rima Hassan, Yusuf Hadib, Justin Ervolino, Alyssa Jackler, Patricia Jacobson, Lila Kawash, Hunter Keenan, Joshua Kabuski, Nicholas Lear, Aubrey Lewis, Amanda Madara, Alicia Malone, Callie McCarthy, Kelsey McFarland, Louis Mendoza, Kasim Mayan, Christopher Miller, Peter Mooney, Emily Morgan, Alexander Nadarashvili, Melanie Navarro, James Ng, Andrea Oliver, Gregorio Pietracola IV, Michael Patak, Zarina Ray, Kylie Rica, Jacob Rios, Logan Rivera, Shane Rooney, Kenneth Rubio Tovar, Caitlin Sanchez, Isabella Schwartz, Heather Scott, Christopher Simmerman, Nicholas Sokolovsky, Ezekiel Soma, Nicole Spirito, Francesca Valenti, Alicia Vanderhook, Brianna Villa, Lindsay Yobo, and Narissa Ugar. A number of years ago, the Student Council dedicated to Mr. George L. Palmgren, the Vice Principal of Hawthorne High School for 24 years, an award to the student who achieved the highest academic ranking. Therefore, it is my pleasure to announce this year's recipient of the George L. Palmgren Award for the 2019-2020 school year. Congratulations, Alexander Nadarashvili. At this time, I am proud to introduce our Superintendent of Schools, Mr. Richard A. Spirito.
Good evening, everyone. I want to start by welcoming all of our parents, Mr. Clavijo, our administrators, our faculty, staff, our family members, and of course, the graduates of the class of 2020. Well, what a year. As I shared in my senior week message in early June, I'm sure this year is not what any of our seniors envisioned as they entered their final year here at Hawthorne High School. I don't think anyone thought they would spend their final 3 months of school at home with their family, completing virtual assignments, binge watching their favorite shows, and discovering new hobbies. I also want to take a moment to thank all the parents here tonight. I know the last 3-4 months have not been what any of us thought, but I want to thank all of you for your flexibility, for your cooperation, and for your understanding with all of the events up to and including tonight. So thank you very much. Thank you. For the class of 2020, well, all I can say is you've made it. And I just want you to know how proud we are of the way you've handled a year unlike any other. In the face of numerous challenges, you've shown an unprecedented level of maturity and resilience, which is a true testament to your character. And although no one is surprised, we are all extremely proud. Some of you have also had to overcome obstacles along the way, but you faced those challenges head on and you've made it to graduation day. As Australian author Tommy Cotton once said, "It's in the hardest times when you find out the most about yourself and the people around you, how strong you can be and who truly cares. The toughest experiences help create the most resilient and beautiful souls and the strongest bonds." So as you complete this year, I hope you will look back and think about the journey you've been on over the past 4 years here at Hawthorne High School. I hope you'll remember all the great memories you've created with your classmates and your friends in the classrooms, on the athletic fields, and in your recent Zoom meetings. You've had an amazing 4 years, and we share in the joy of your achievements. I also realized that you have missed out on many end-of-year events, but we hope you will focus on all that you've accomplished and look back fondly on your experience here at Hawthorne High School. The class of 2020 will forever be remembered as an example of strength. So don't let anything get in your way as you move forward. And whether you are off to college, the military, or starting your future career, we know that you will all be successful, and we fondly await hearing about where life takes you. Seniors, everyone here and everyone watching at home tonight are extremely proud of you and happy that we're able to honor you in this ceremony tonight. However, please remember that graduation is not defined by a gown, a piece of paper, or a cardboard cap. It is defined by your hard work and perseverance over the past 4 years and your courage to make the next step wherever that may be. Finally, I just want to say thank you again and congratulations to all of our parents and, of course, to the class of 2020. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Spirito. We as a district value the support that we receive from the Board of Education, and I truly thank them for that. At this time, I would like to introduce the Vice President of the Hawthorne Board of Education, Mr. Alex Clavijo.
Good evening. I am smiling under the mask, in case you're wondering. It is my great pleasure to address you on behalf of the Hawthorne Board of Education. Thank you to the village that has made this night possible, including parents, teachers, administrators, our great superintendent, coaches, school staff, PTOs, recreation programs, current and past board trustees, mayor, and council, supporting small businesses and various community organizations. Thank you. Class of 2020, I do not need to point out for you how much you have lost out on as a result of the current state of affairs. I do, however, want to impart on you the idea of how much you have gained as a result. Gained? Are you serious? Some could legitimately question. Do you not see all the experiences we missed out on which we will never get back? Yes, I've seen them every day in my own daughter's life, including missing out on prom, senior field trips, European trips, yearbook signing, walking the halls of what has been home for the last several years, and missing out on saying farewell to teachers and friends. But hear me out. The reason I say gained is based on the concept of what is known as the opportunity cost. Opportunity cost is what economists refer to as profit lost or gained when one alternative is selected over another. And while this was not necessarily a chosen option, the gains are just the same. These gains include resilience, patience, and discipline, amongst others, traits and virtues that many never gain in a lifetime. As if those returns weren't enough, we have all gained a better appreciation for the true treasures in life, including family, friends, health, both physical and mental, the value of connections, and the value of community, not to mention home-cooked meals. Additionally, as parents, it has afforded us the opportunity to share in your intimate company just a little longer before you set out into the world. Class of 2020, just like we couldn't have envisioned our current state of affairs, it is equally not possible to envision what you can now accomplish as a result of your gains. It is more exciting than ever to ponder what a newly graduated class can achieve and the effects it can bring to our world. I will now leave you with the words of the 18th century writer Johann Wolfgang von Goethe. Dream no small dreams, for they have no power to move the hearts of men. Hawthorne High School class of 2020, congratulations. Continue to make Hawthorne proud. Make your dent on the universe. Be a beacon of light in your travels, uniting the world and transforming it for the better. Go Bears.
Thank you, Mr. Calvillo, and to all the members of our Board of Education. I am extremely proud of all the graduates tonight. However, I would like to thank and recognize a special group of people. I would like to thank all the students' parents and family members for their support over the years in Hawthorne school system. Seniors, please give your teachers, supervisors, and administrators one last round of applause for all their hard work to ensure that you would be sitting in these chairs tonight. I would also like to give the senior class advisors a round of applause for all their hard work. Mrs. Allison Gerdes and Miss Jacqueline Peen. Ms. Russo and Mr. Shell, our student activities coordinators and graduation coordinators. The class of 2020 and I appreciate all your hard work in making this evening so special. And now, the moment we've all been waiting for. Mr. Spirito, it is my responsibility and honor to certify that all of the students assembled here this evening have met the requirements for the high school diploma as set forth by the state of New Jersey and the Hawthorne Board of Education. Before I begin calling individual names for the class of 2020, please be reminded that yelling the name of your graduate or the use of air horns prevents the next classmate in the alphabet from hearing their name called. Once the graduates have moved their tassels, we hope that you will join us in celebrating this exceptional class of 2020. And just a reminder to all of our graduates, please remember to reach under your seat and bring your diploma up with you. And we will begin. Nicholas F. Acosta. Lubana Aliubi. Joseph Aliano. Drina Sierra Alvarez. Marlena Therese Alvino. Xavier Marquise Anderson. Maria del Carmen Nora Angelis Molinelli. Angelina Mary Antonucci. Aaliyah D. Arroyo. John David Arturi. Gabriella M. Barbarisi. Brian A. Basilio. Sydney Rose Bavaro. George Giovanni Began. Daniel Patrick Berry. Anthony James Bertolo. Jessica Bianco. Melanie Lynn Bilbao. Natalie Rose Branwell. Michael Stephen Brown. Thomas Joseph Buttman. Alexis Abigail Byfield. Kayla F. Cabascongo. Nia Kristen Canales. Jacqueline Marie Caraballo. Andrew John Caradonna. Caitlin Marie Carone. Shane M. Carr. Verinia A. Carranza. Josue A. Carrasco. Sam Queso. Gabriela Castellanos. Alejandra Castillo. Nahal Chowdhury. Sarah K. Christensen. Andrew Michael Ciali. Karina Elizabeth Claros. Alexandra Jimena Clavijo. Kevin Joseph Cohen. Bianca Dawn Corbo. Samira S. Cortez. Danielle Marie Diascoli. Joseph F. DePinto. Mackenzie DePrima. Adam James Dietrich. Jason T. Dion. Anthony Richard Peter Jake Donadio. Diego Rafael Duran. Fiorella Esquia. Emily Corinne Estes. Jack Spencer Farnham Holster. Joseph E. Figueroa. Thomas George Finch. Aaron Thomas Fletcher. Elizabeth Marie Gallo. Jennifer Galvan Arenas. Robert E. Getchell III. Nicole Elizabeth Giovaniello. Andrew Gomez. Jovan Armani Gonzalez. Jimena Gonzalez. Paige Morgan Grenier. Justin Omar Guerrero. Kiara D. Guillen. Rana Ejay Gune. Errol Gungor. Gianna Olivia Gorell. Rima Ali Hassan. Yusuf Tariq Hadib. Alexandria Karen Henriquez. Jacqueline Paige Holmberg. Gianna Lee Innocenti. Justin Michael Ervolino. Alyssa Ruth Jackler. Patricia Rose Jacobson. Mohammed Jawish. Ruslan Aiden Katau. Lila Mae Kawash. Hunter William Keenan. Joshua Andrew Kinahan. Joshua Stephen Kabuski. Rachel Grace Cognac. Georgi Kavratskelia. Gabriella Marie LaRosa. Nicholas E. Lear. Aubrey Ann Lewis. John Paul Lopez. Jesus Lozano Marino. Kimberly Inez Macias. Brandon K. McPherson. Marissa Angelique McPherson. Amanda Faith Madara. Alicia Jade Malone. Yusuf O. Maratok. Melissa K. Martin. Jalen Amani Mateo. Joel Hunter Matus. Molly Matus. Callie Marie McCarthy. Kelsey Burke McFarland. Jason A. Melendez. Neil Jared Mendez. Louis David Mendoza. Priscilla Michaela Mendoza. Kasim R. Mayan. Christopher Kelly Miller. Amina Mamini. Anissa Mamini. Gianna Julia Molinero. Grace Isabella Montez. Peter Andrew Mooney. Giovanni Morel. Emily Renee Morgan. Christy Marie Murillo. Michael Kevin Murphy. Alexander Melanie Rose Navarro. James Alexander Ing. Andrea and Elizabeth Oliver. Sandra Gina Ovale. Jaden David Palladino. Jalen Tyler Palmer. John R. Parcells. Tiffany Deborah Penna. Delilah Marie Perez. Malik A. Perinu. Gregorio G. Pietrocola IV. Michael Thomas Patak. Adriana Martita Ramos Valiz. Zarina Klabwala Ray. Kylie Elizabeth Rika. Jacob R. Rios. Logan Joshua Rivera. Elizabeth Rosalie Rodriguez. Shane Patrick Rooney. Kenneth Y. Rubio Tovar. Jacqueline Page Holmberg. Tyrese Delbert Russell. Matthew Anthony Russo. Connor J. Sachs. Marco A. Salazar. Caitlin Jocelyn Sanchez. Nicholas George Sanford. Trevor Jack Savage. Isabella Rose Schwartz. Heather A. Scott. Dylan C. Scully. Christopher Drake Zimmerman, Jr. Nicholas Joseph Sokolovsky. Ezekiel K. Soma. Sebastian Soto. Nicole Catherine Spirito. Jennifer Rose Stanzak. Cameron Rose Sweisberger. Michael Tapia. Kayla Nicole Rosetta Terranova. Luis Alexander Torres. Francesca Valenti. Uriel Valor. Paul Isaiah Valentin. Alicia Noel Vanderhook. Kendry Valeria Vargas Blanco. Brianna R. Villa. Richard Aiden Weaver. Lawrence Yakub. Lindsay Yobo. Narissa Ugar. At this time, we're going to call Mr. Nicholas Sokolovsky for the traditional switching of the tassel. Please rise for the playing of our alma mater. After the alma mater, I will begin dismissing our graduates by row. Once your graduates' row is called, we ask that you exit the bleachers as quickly as possible. Please meet your graduate at the bottom of the hill and exit the facility. Due to social distancing guidelines, we cannot allow pictures or gatherings on the field. For those of you with parking passes, please wait in your car until the last group has left the facility. We thank you again for your understanding. And now, the alma mater. Mr. Doyle and members of the Board of Education, Mr. Spirito, administrators, honored guests, members of the faculty, parents, and friends, I have the distinct honor of presenting to you this evening the graduates of Hawthorne High School's class of 2020. Once again, we are going to be dismissing by rows. I'm going to ask you to please exit the bleachers and meet your graduate at the bottom of the hill over there, and please exit the facility. We thank you so much for your understanding. Thank you for being here this evening. At this time, row 1, please make your way out. Row 2. Row 3. Row 4. Row 5. Row 6. Thank you. Row 7, 8, and 9. Thank you. You too.
This has been a presentation of Hawthorne Public Schools and Bears Broadcasting.